So, booting up, woke up pretty early, took a turbo nap. Super pro tips if you want to take turbo naps at the house. Tatami mat is where it's at. So, just cheap one on Amazon. It's like, folds into 4. It's like, what, like $100, $120? We've got 2 of them. Just take a nice nap in the living room. And anyways, so paradise. It's actually funny because my first computer, my first company, when I was like, the first thing I built when I was in junior year of high school, it's called Paradise Computers. Photography Paradise. My favorite number is also the number 4, which is actually pretty hilarious because it's also apparently the color of or the number of death. I think essentially the notion of paradise computers, whatever, is that it's funny, even like, what was my favorite character as a kid? Sub-Zero. Mortal Kombat. I'm like, I remember just like Sub-Zero blue, the best color. I remember like drawing Sub-Zero as a kid, just like all the time. It was my mom, thinking about my mom, one of the best things she ever did for me was I think she actually helped me design my own Sub-Zero Halloween costume. She actually made it and hemmed it and stitched it herself. So like Sub-Zero goals, a good one. I'm like, I need to check out that Pantone. Actually, it's funny too because the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, and I actually always preferred Sub-Zero. And even my moniker was Ice Dragon 4, and then the O was a 0. It's the early AOL days, right? Bring back the Ice Dragon. So, anyways, I think this is kind of an important idea because so many people are seeking happiness, paradise, whatever's. Good morning.
Good morning.
So cold, right? Hey, your jacket look warm though. So like everyone's seeking for paradise, happiness, blah blahs, right? And quote Nietzsche, it's like, what? Paradise is under a valley of swords or something like that. But anyways, so the generalized thought about paradise, which is kind of interesting, is I think paradise is just walking, right? Like, biped, got my merino wool on. Shout out to my friend Chris. I'm All Saints merino wool. It's pretty cold. Later with the EK armor, the cashmere, cash money armors. And I think like even the reason why I was so happy living in Providence, Rhode Island, was just how walkable the whole city is. Actually, technically, in terms of terrain, Providence, Rhode Island may be better than LA, even here in Culver City, is because at least there's different gradations. You go uphill, downhill, like kind of curvy, whereas LA is bad because it tends to be too flat. That's upside of going to nature. There's a Stoneview Nature Center in LA that I love. I go there all the time with Zen. I think it's one of those things. Staying cozy, bro.
You already know, it's cold as here.
I know, right? Got this few jumping jacks. My friend Davion. So anyways, I think because actually surprisingly the good thing about LA is there's actually lots of really good parks and nature reserves. I mean, LA just dumped $250 million, that's $250 million into the parks, and it shows. Everyone having all these pains and blah blah. And I think actually the big culprit here is actually the fact that when society is too flat, both metaphorically and literally, your hips never have a chance to open up. So actually a lot of back pain, hip pains, knee pains, blah, blah, foot pain, every pains. I think it just manifested the issue is that we're just not walking, and also surfaces are too flat. So the best type of surface is, oh, wow, look, nice sunrise. Beautiful morning. Okay. So yeah, that's actually the big thing. So I still advocate the best lifestyle is maximum walking. Infamous Eric Kim 50-mile a day challenge. Obviously I don't walk 50 miles a day, but it's a good benchmark. And yeah, and actually even a funny thought about kids, right? So like adults were like so obsessed with our step count, right? Like walking 20,000, 30,000 steps a day, whatevs. Why don't we do that for our kids? My thought on like virtuous parenting is like increase your kids' step count, right? You know, people like trying to measure how tall they are, how much they weigh, right? But then the issue is, it's like at what point is it better to be heavier and what point is it bad to be lighter? It's like at what point is it just childhood obesity and like pre-diabetes in kids, right? Because like I mean the reason why people are foolish when it comes to weight, obviously you gain 50 pounds of fat, adipose tissue, that's bad. You gain 50 pounds of muscle, skeletal muscle, that's good. So all these bodybuilders, weightlifters, people who are trying to quote quote gain weight or quote quote lose weight, it seems like kind of a foolish optimization. We got a little bit more precision with our words. Skeletal mass, skeletal muscle mass for the muscles, and using notions of adipose tissue fat for visceral body fat, right? And you know, everyone's like, oh, body shaming and stuff like that. I mean, first and foremost, I think body shaming is bad. It's not effective. You shame somebody for being fat or over fat, whatevs. It's not gonna do nothing. My thought is it's better to be more encouraging of people's, right? And I mean, this is the problem is the reason why everyone's so fat now is because everyone's just addicted to sugar. Don't matter if it's real sugar, fake sugar, Coke Zero, Diet Coke, fake sugar, it still makes you fat even though it has quote-unquote 0 calories. And I actually think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about just diet, health, and physiology. So, oh, calories in, calories out. It's like you just, you know, basic metabolic rate is 2,000 calories a day. So as long as you burn off the calories and you got your fitness right, like, so I think maybe the big culprits here is the Coca-Cola Corporation, who's an evil corporation. They're essentially selling diabetes and killing people for a profit. And just think to yourself, hey, I mean, I don't even know who's the CEO of Coca-Cola, right? And B, does he or she drink Coca-Cola themselves? Same thing with the evil Philip Morris Corporation. I hate smoking cigarettes with a passion. Does the CEO of Philip Morris smoke cigarettes, him or herself? Probably not. Ooh, I need to check out apparently Ubisoft is right up here in the platform. You gotta check out the new Ubisoft games, right? Yeah, nice morning in the platform. Yeah, also some other thoughts I had this morning is like, what is the point of monies? I mean, simple things. One, pay your rent. Two, if you use the internet entrepreneurs, just paying for your website, the hosting fee. Mine is around like maybe $250 a month. Rent here in LA, it's listed at $3,500 for a 2-bed, 1-bath, super nice. I think we're paying $3,200 a month. And yeah, like having skin in the game. I mean, like I've been like thinking even more and more about it. It's just like buying property, whatevs. This seems kind of a bad idea because like even if you buy a house all in cash, right? The property taxes on it is still ridiculous. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you buy a $1.6 million house in LA, Culver City, what is, right? The property taxes, like, let's assume just boom, paid it all in cash, right? still the property taxes, it's like close to like $1,700 USD a month, right? Close to $2,000. I'm like, so you're paying close to $2,000 a month in property taxes, which is like not used to build your equity. You're just paying the city to maintain the water systems and the fire department, what it is, right? And on top of that, you got to buy the insurance, right? Because you don't want your house to fall over when it, earthquake or some shit, right? And on top of that, shit finna eventually break, like your water heater goes out, you need something like you need a new roof. Buying a new roof is what, like $70,000. I'm like, I'd rather buy a Cybertruck than that. I think I'm becoming an icon of Culver. I think everybody knows me. This one dude I met like around the steps, kind of looked like Morgan Freeman. It's like, is it Morgan Freeman? No, he's like, oh, you're wearing a shirt today. It's like, knows me as the random buff Asian guy who walking around topless, right? Another thought has like, who's the CEO? Who runs HBO Max? Because it looks like they're killing it. Apparently, even the Barbie movie is on HBO Max. The reason why I still love being here in Culver, I think ultimately, one of the things that I kind of learned and gleaned is, if I think about it, right? I always thought I was in tech, but I'm actually not. I'm like, I've always kind of been more into like blogging, media, photo, video, YouTube's information, which is kind of different. Like, I guess it's media, social media, online media, internet webs, blogs, ebooks, whatevs. So actually, going to UCLA as an undergrad was actually hugely beneficial because that's where I kind of got my kickstart in blogging. Also, the first company I worked at, I got an internship there. It was this company called Demand Media, which owned this website called ehow.com. And yeah, I think in today's brave new world of AI and text generation, Axel Springer, I just go to the OpenAI website frequently and look at their papers that they're publishing, as well as the collabs, right? So journalism already now, which is like, I don't know, New York Times or whatever have you, right? Honestly, it's impossible to know with 100% certainty whether it's quote unquote real or fake, or if it was written by ChatGPT or not, and or if a human editor or writer, how much of their writing was actually written by ChatGPT and they just unedited, right? So for example, I could be like, give me critical view of, lexical issues in the Torah or something, right? And you get ChatGPT spit something out, right? You could just copy and paste that, and you could just, change a few words here and there, and it's like, boom. And also the funny thing too, it's impossible to know whether something was written by ChatGPT or not. Even ChatGPT don't know if it was written by ChatGPT or not, right? So therefore, as a consequence, what is we to do about it? A, I don't think it really matters. B, just don't trust nothing on the internet. Even the interwebs, like this notion of deep fakes, right? Like you're creating photos or videos of certain celebrities with sexy bodies, photoshopped on top of it, are insanely convincing. It's kind of like the new USSR Stalinism photoshopping vibes. So yeah, it really is 100% impossible to know whether something was created artificially or not. Even like me, I'm pretty discerning. I look at it, right? And then you look at it like super close, like, I don't know, is that a real image or not? I would just say, if you haven't seen it IRL, assume it's fake. And also the funny thing I've also learned too is, I think oftentimes, okay, so this is the reason why the internet is bad. I'm like anti-internet. I trust ChatGPTs more than I trust the quote internet. The internet is essentially Google. Whenever you Google something, go down Wikipedia rabbit holes and YouTube videos, sooner or later you're finna find yourself into some conspiracy theory about, I don't know, Illuminati, Jewish people, or what's that one famous dude who owns the world or whatever, right? And it's kind of this like weird propaganda that's motivated by publishers, YouTubers, bloggers, website peoples to just maximize their Google AdSense revenue. So that means the more impressions, the more clicks, the more eyeballs you get on something, the publisher is going to make more money on the thing, right? So just think about it simply, right? You know, what kind of blog posts, news articles, whatever gets clicked on the most or viewed the most? Typically things that make people angry, right? Or scared, right? So like anything about, I don't know, just you know, like people getting killed, death, violence, sexism, racism, anti-Semitism, whatevs, right? Conspiracy theories. Therefore, as a consequence, publishers are incentivized, monetarily speaking, to publish kind of the more like ridiculous, the more sensational, and this trend towards sensitizations to make everything sensational is a bad one, because we kind of get a distorted view of reality. We think that the world is going to shambles, but in fact, ain't nobody ever gonna post a video. It's like, nice boy helps grandma cross across the street and waves down cars. It's like, you ain't finna never see that in the news, right? Because we love the sensational. And let us not forget, anything that's driven by advertising is bad. That's where I trust ChatGPT, the paid premium, what, $20 a month? Better than I trust anything on the interwebs, because anything which is sponsored, supported by advertising is bad. Don't trust none of the bodybuilding competitions, Arnold, classics, but everyone's on steroids, guys, or performance enhancing drugs, or taking quote quote natural testosterone boosting supplements, which is just steroids in disguise, right? And I mean, just look at all these bald guys, right? Like Brian Shaw, probably Eddie Hall, all these guys that lifting over 500 pounds. Thor, I mean, shout out to Thor. He actually done admitted it, 501 kilogram deadlift. He admits that he's on steroids. So I mean, like, I have a simple heuristic. Rock, not a good one. He don't admit he's on steroids. So my thought is, if you use like a media personality, a Marvel superhero, what is The Rock, I think it's your ethical duty to be like, yes, I am on steroids. Just put it out there in the open. Like even, you know, Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, right? His critical flaw was he denied it. He should have just been like, yep, I done did it. That's it. Like, actually, the reason why the whole impeachment thing happened for Clinton wasn't the fact that he slept with like an intern, Monica Lewinsky, what is, right? The issue actually here was the fact that he lied. So, you know, I think anybody who lies or doesn't put the truth out there is signaling some sort of disingenuities, and it's better to just take the short-term hit. Don't hide, admit what is, right? Simple things, guys. You married or whatever, don't cheat on your spouse. You know, don't get phone numbers from nobody else. Don't get no FaceTimes, because like sooner or later you're gonna get caught. Because like, you know, your wifey gets into your iPhone, iMessage or whatever. People not doing it, find out an accident. Even your kid probably knows your iPhone password. So then they get into your phone, your devices. And so the simple heuristic I have in life is do everything on the internet, your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop, whatevs. Doesn't matter if you have a VPN using Brave browser in incognito mode, Google incognito mode, like sooner or later something's gonna leak out, right? Like even if you're looking at the, you know, Reddit gone wild, Asian Reddit gone wild, Asian Reddit gone wild, NSFW GIF gone wild, incognito modes. One day you're actually gonna forget to put in incognito mode, and then you're gonna be doing a presentation somewhere, then boom, it's gonna show up in the big screen. Wasn't there that college professor who was like teaching an Asian histories course, right? Older Caucasian guy, right? And then like he's like opening up a browser tab. He's like, okay, let's study the history of, you know, Somalia or something, right? He's like opens up a Google Chrome tab and types S, you know, to type Somalia, and then boom, autocomplete, sexyasiangirls.com, right? Or sexyasiancollegegirls.com, right? So yeah, just do everything as if everyone's watching, because sooner or later you can get caught.